Welcome to This Seesaw at Home. Hello, I'm Jo, and it's time for a tale time. For a tale time, we need a piece of art, and from that piece of art, our story time can start. We need the help of the mice who live at Orleans House Gallery. If we say, cheese, 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 or imagine cheese, 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 the mice will bring us a piece of art, and our storytelling can begin. So let's get ready to say cheese, 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 or imagine cheese, cheese, cheese after 3. 1, 2, 3. Cheese, cheese, cheese! Thank you, mice. And well done at home for saying or imagining so much cheese. The mice have brought us a painting. It's a painting by an artist called James Lewis, and it's a painting of a bakery. What's a bakery? Yes, a bakery is a place where bread and cakes are made. And here's the baker. It's the baker of the bakery. Hello, baker. The baker has a story to share with us. It was a warm summer's morning. The baker had woken up early, as usual, and started baking the bread and cakes for the bakery. The baker had kneaded the bread and let it rise. The baker had chosen their favourite spoon and mixed the creamy cake mixture in the mixing bowl. The bread and cakes were now cooking in the oven. While the bread and cakes were baking, the baker cleaned the windows of the bakery. The baker polished the glass till it gleamed. When the bread and cakes were cooked, the baker put them in the windows of the bakery. It was now time to unlock the bakery door. "We're open," said the baker. Ting-a-ling went the brass bell on the bakery door as a customer opened the door and stepped inside. The baker patted down their dusty, floury apron. "Good morning," said the customer to the baker. "Could I please have 2 slices of the gooey chocolate cake and a loaf of soft brown bread, please?" "Of course," said the baker, and the baker took the gooey chocolate cake out of the window and started to cut the customer 2 slices with a shiny steel knife. The cake was sticky and the buttercream was thick, but the baker had cut many slices of cake and was very good at cutting slices that were the exact same size. The baker then took a smooth paper bag, opened it, slid the slices of cake inside it, swish, swish, and then twisted and scrunched the bag so the cakes inside were snug. Snug like a hug, thought the baker. The baker then chose the softest, springiest loaf of brown bread for the customer. The baker took another smooth bag, opened it, slid the bread inside it, swish, and then twisted and scrunched the bag so the bread inside was snug. Snug like a hug, thought the baker. Would you like anything to drink? We have steaming hot tea or icy cold soft drinks, the baker asked the customer. The customer thought about ordering a milky cup of tea, but then remembered that they were having tea with a friend that afternoon. That was why they were buying 2 slices of gooey chocolate cake. No, thank you, said the customer. The customer handed the baker several golden coins, and the baker sorted the money and handed the customer some bronze coins in change. It was then that the wind started to blow. It blew through the trees next to the bakery. The leaves rustled. Some of the trees had rough leaves. Some had furry leaves. Some had spiky leaves, and one tree had soft leaves, leaves as soft as silk. Inside the bakery, the baker and the customer heard the trees rustling. The customer said to the baker that they were glad they were visiting the bakery that morning. The sky is bright blue and full of fluffy clouds, but later on it might rain, said the customer. I'm glad we had some new tiles put on the bakery roof then, said the baker. If it rains, hopefully we won't have a leak this time. It's nice to fall asleep in a dry rather than a wet, soggy bed, said the baker. Oh yes, said the customer. And the customer started to put their bread and cakes into a leathery shopping bag. The pavement's quite dusty and bumpy in parts. The bread and cakes should be safe in my bag. I wouldn't want to drop them on the pavement, said the customer. The customer started to imagine what it might be like if they did drop the gooey chocolate cake on the cobbled pavement, and a furry dog came along and gobbled it all up. And the baker started to imagine what it might be like if the customer dropped the bread on the cobbled pavement and the bread started to roll and then plop, it fell into the river. Of course, the baker wanted their bread to be eaten by the customer and not be eaten by a hungry, scaly fish. I will see you again soon. Goodbye for now, said the customer. Goodbye, said the baker. Ting-a-ling went the brass bell on the bakery door. In the baker's story, we heard about the baker's favourite spoon and the paper bags that the baker puts the bread and cakes into and then twists and scrunches up so they're nice and safe. And we heard about the different leaves on the trees. Perhaps at home you can find a spoon, a piece of paper that you can then twist and scrunch up, and a fallen leaf. You can take these items in your hands or gently rub them against your skin and think about and talk about how they feel and how they look. You can think and talk about their texture.